Have you ever heard of a story where a young girl's quick thinking and bravery changed the course of history? It's a tale of courage, leadership, and unwavering faith. And it starts, not with a king or a warrior, but with a sister watching over her baby brother. Today, we're diving into the incredible life of Miriam. Our story begins in ancient Egypt, a time of great suffering for the Israelites. The Pharaoh, fearing their growing numbers, had issued a terrifying decree. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be thrown into the Nile River. Imagine the fear and despair that gripped every family. In the midst of this darkness, a woman named Jochebed gave birth to a beautiful son. For 3 months, she managed to hide him, her heart pounding with every passing soldier. But she knew she couldn't keep him hidden forever. With a heavy heart but a spark of hope, she devised a plan. She wove a small basket from papyrus reeds, waterproofing it with tar and pitch. Gently, she placed her baby inside and set the tiny ark adrift among the reeds at the river's edge. This wasn't an act of abandonment. It was an act of desperate faith, entrusting her son to God's protection. And watching from a distance, her heart, a mix of fear and determination, was her young daughter, Miriam. Miriam wasn't just a passive observer, she was her brother's guardian. She stood watch, her eyes scanning the riverbank, her mind racing. What could she do? How could she protect him? Her chance came in the most unexpected way. Pharaoh's own daughter came down to the river to bathe. When she saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her maid to retrieve it. Opening it, she found the crying baby, and her heart was filled with pity. "This is one of the Hebrew children," she said. This was Miriam's moment. A moment that could have been frozen by fear. She was just a young girl, standing before royalty. But instead of running, she stepped forward. With a courage far beyond her years, she approached the princess and asked, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" Think about that. She didn't just stand by. She saw an opportunity and seized it. She inserted herself into the narrative to ensure her brother's survival. The princess agreed. And who do you think Miriam went to get? Their own mother, Jochebed. It was a brilliant, daring move. Because of Miriam's quick-wittedness, her mother was not only reunited with her son, but was paid by the princess to nurse him. The baby, who the princess named Moses because she drew him out of the water, was safe. Miriam's courage didn't just save her brother's life. It ensured he would be raised, in his earliest years, by his own mother. Learning the stories and faith of his people right under the roof of the Pharaoh's palace. This single act of bravery as a child set the stage for the rest of Miriam's life. It showed us the leader she was destined to become. Fast forward many years, Moses, now a man, has led the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt. They have just witnessed the most incredible miracle, the parting of the Red Sea. They walked through on dry ground, while the pursuing Egyptian army was swallowed by the returning waters. The entire nation stood on the far shore, breathless, safe, and free for the first time in 400 years. There was an overwhelming sense of awe, relief, and gratitude. And who was it that led the celebration? It was Miriam. The Bible tells us that Miriam, the prophetess, Aaron's sister, took a tambourine in her hand, and all the women followed her, with tambourines and dancing. She wasn't just celebrating. She was leading the nation in worship. She sang out, "Sing to the Lord, for he is highly exalted. Both horse and driver he has hurled into the sea." This wasn't a spontaneous little jig. This was organized, communal praise. Miriam is called a prophetess, a title of immense respect and authority. She was a spiritual leader, recognized and followed by the women of Israel. She gave voice to the nation's joy and gratitude, channeling it into a powerful song of faith that would be remembered for generations. From a watchful sister by the river to a celebrated leader on the shores of the Red Sea, Miriam's journey is remarkable. She demonstrates that leadership isn't about age or gender. It's about courage, wisdom, and a heart that's attuned to God. She played a pivotal role in two of the most significant moments in Israel's history: the preservation of its future deliverer and the celebration of its liberation. However, Miriam's story is also a human one, and it includes a moment of failure. Later in their journey through the wilderness, Miriam and her brother Aaron spoke against Moses because of his Cushite wife. They said, "Has the Lord spoken only through Moses? Hasn't he also spoken through us?" Their complaint started with a personal issue but quickly spiraled into a challenge of Moses's unique authority, a role given to him directly by God. It was a moment of jealousy and pride. God's response was swift and serious. He called Moses, Aaron, and Miriam to the tent of meeting. He appeared in a pillar of cloud and rebuked Miriam and Aaron, reminding them that his relationship with Moses was unique. When the cloud lifted, Miriam was covered with leprosy. It was a harsh and public consequence for challenging God's chosen leader. But what happened next is just as important. Moses, the very brother she had spoken against, immediately cried out to God, "Please, God, heal her." And Aaron, too, admitted their sin and pleaded for her. This is a powerful lesson in grace and forgiveness. Despite her mistake, her brothers didn't abandon her. Miriam was healed after 7 days outside the camp, and the entire nation of Israel waited for her to be restored before they continued their journey. They waited for their leader. This incident doesn't diminish Miriam's legacy, it enriches it. It shows us that even great leaders can make mistakes. It reminds us of the dangers of jealousy and pride, but also of the power of repentance, forgiveness, and community. Her story is a realistic portrait of faith, one that includes incredible highs and painful lows. Miriam's life comes to a close in the desert of Zin, at a place called Kadesh. The Bible simply states, "There Miriam died and was buried." There's no grand fanfare, just a quiet end to a long and impactful life. But her legacy was already cemented. She was a protector, a prophetess, a worship leader, and a core part of the leadership trio with her brothers, Moses and Aaron, who guided Israel through its most formative years. Centuries later, the prophet Micah would recall her importance, quoting God as saying, "I sent Moses to lead you." Also, Aaron and Miriam. She is named alongside her brothers as one of the great leaders God sent to redeem his people. She wasn't an afterthought. She was an essential part of the plan. So what can we learn from Miriam today? We learn that courage can blossom at any age, that you don't have to be the loudest voice or have the highest position to make a world-changing impact. Miriam's story encourages us to be watchful, to see where we can step in and make a difference, even in seemingly small ways. It teaches us to lead in celebration and worship, to use our voices and talents to give praise. And it shows us that even when we stumble, there is a path back through humility and grace. Miriam's life is a testament to the powerful role of women in faith and leadership. She stands as a foundational figure, a foremother of faith whose courage by a river rippled out to shape the destiny of a nation. Her story is a powerful reminder that God uses ordinary people, young and old, men and women, to accomplish extraordinary things. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life of Miriam. If her story of courage and leadership inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into incredible stories from history. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What part of Miriam's life stands out to you the most? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.